Hey there, Nick here. Gonna take you a little bit through some of the stuff we're checking out this weekend, including EQ Landmark. Probably do several videos over the next couple of months covering the various games that we're looking at. Again, starting with Landmark, it's currently available. You can buy a buy-in pack essentially to the beta, and Landmark is basically the sandbox environment to EQ or EverQuest Next, which is their next game. Basically, if you're familiar with the EverQuest franchise, this is going to be a reboot of the entire franchise, so kind of restarting all their lore from scratch. They apparently will use some lore from the previous games, but you don't really have to know what's going on in EQ1 or EQ2 to really get a grasp of what happens here, other than the usual starting lore components. There's plenty of videos on that. I'll probably link some in the forums when I put out this video. So we've kind of what you do is you can claim like little pieces of land. Let's see if I have a do I have a flag? I do not. I used them all. So let me get over this hill here. So you can see kind of off in the distance there's some other buildings, other plots people have. There's various shards, servers, shards, whatever you want to call them. And then within these server and shards are called what are called islands, and they're basically different biomes. This particular one's kind of a rolling hillside. Well, it's called hillside, so it's a rolling hillside. Got mountain-esque landscape here. And you access each island by these portals down here, the little spire thing. Right there. And basically, you see all these little colored patches. Those are various minerals that you mine that you use to, at this stage, build crafting stations, build, basically whatever you want. Basic components are wood, stone, metals. They have water, or not really water. They have ice and snow. Eventually, they'll probably have water, and then there's various gems and whatnot. Look a little more fancy and sparkly and whatnot. Trees. Yeah, I think I mentioned wood. So that's what we have here. Looks like a start of a palisade. Crad wanted to do a Mont Bailey here, so that's kind of the start of this. And we'll. We got a little training dummy here. So we'll head over to one of the other plots. It's kind of a village setup. Get over there. Got a little grappling hook to move faster. And you can kind of see him sliding there. That's part of the I forget the exact term they used it, but basically like enhanced movement, very stylized, very it's supposed to be cool looking, does flips just like that one, like that, right there. See if I can get to it here. Oh, there it is. You can kind of see things start to render off in the distance. It'll look a little weird at first. And as soon as you enter anyone's plot, for that matter, and if they give the option to, which we have here, you can upvote them. Give a little vote. You give a little feedback if you want now. That's a more recent function, I guess, within the past week. They're constantly patching, adding new things all the time. You can check out SOE's site. We'll probably put a link in the forums to their current plans, basically through the summer, all the way through I think August. And basically, they're adding little bits and pieces to the world, making sure it works. And it's basically tied to EverQuest Next. So eventually, this will all make it to EverQuest Next in some capacity. We kind of have like a built little workshop platform here. This doesn't really mean anything. basically you have all these building blocks. Here, let me pull up a little thing here. So you can make big blocks, you make small blocks. Here's my materials over here. That's what this is. So let's pick something quick here. Stuccoed wall. That's what this is here. I'm gonna you make little boxes like that. And then there's techniques to actually make it very much smaller. Takes a little jimming with the kind of the crafting tools you get. You get a smooth tool, selection tool. Selection tool allows you to grab big chunks of whatever you want. Smoothing tool does exactly that. Turns very square shapes called voxels into something very rounded, and this leads to circular objects. Can lead to these what are called microvoxels. That's what this little frame or these frames are made out of. You can kind of see this one little guy floating right here. All these kind of building techniques that people have developed over time here. And some really easy. So I'm going to erase my blocks here that I just put Control Z. Boop, boop, boop. One more. There you go. So it's very easy to do that. There's Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Very intuitive. So you can make designs, paste it again. There's a paint tool to make it different materials. Like we have a kind of stone thing over here. We have wood here, so I can easily change that. So we have these are the crafting stations. You have your main ones here that refining station allow you to build more things in mass. Relics are part of the upgrade system to harvesting tools, which you use right now to harvest all the minerals. And so it allows you to make a higher grade pick or something. Just like any other game. Even like GW2, you have to have a high level pick to mine high level materials. Stone Forge does a lot of things with stone, metals. Actually, no, this is just metals. This makes here's the pick, the axe, and they have a sickle here. There we go. The Tinker's Workshop. This is where you actually get to build props, doors, paintings, buckets, tables, you name it. And that doesn't mean you can't build these things either. A lot of very clever people have made chairs and tables out of the voxel system. Let's see if we have so here we go. Chan's made some voxel chairs here. These are not props. These are actually created next to an actual prop table. Some barrels. So this is kind of like a little shop here. A little brazier here. You can turn it off, turn it on, so you can interact with props. Same thing with the chandelier there. And you can easily move things around. Let's see if I can. You can go to adjust, and you can move it all around. I don't like that, so I'm gonna let it go back to normal. There we go. And I'll take you into these doors here. These little huts here, supposed to be like little one-person huts. I haven't really filled them out yet. Go in here. We got a little cavern going. Another door. Our safe room here, and this actually is a working safe. You can actually put stuff in here. We haven't done that yet. There's not much really to put other than resources themselves, or if you happen to make a lot of mining materials. So let's see if we can go down deeper here. There we go. Shrine. Yeah, we've made some little shrines in here. So basically this is I'll go back to the surface and kind of show you the actual plot kind of looks like, but it also goes into the ground. So this was those little bunk beds we made. Little first shrine here, kneeler. Chairs of evil, or something. Come and exit here. Kind of see it's our secret woodland entrance, or exit rather, I should say. Should be an exit. It's a double door, so we can close the doors there, seal us in. There we go. And we tunneled this all out. This isn't natural. This is various tools. There's a circular tool. He makes it look like kind of like a drill bit has gone through here. All right, and yeah, this led up to that trap door you may have seen in the shack there. I got little lights there. Turn them on and off. Oop, come on, there we go. So you can see this is inside of the shop here. So we'll close this door again. Head on down. Oop, turn around myself. So we got some shrines in here, so we'll go a little lower here. There we go. Bring up on some of the lower Luklin here. This is actually another, it's a portal vault, essentially. That's what that is. You got the paintings in here, this is obsidian and marble. I don't know what this middle one is. Something, but yeah, you can see a lot of different materials you can use and make it look different ways. Got a little crypt going on here. Looks like one of the bodies has escaped. Might have to hunt that down later. Kind of a little forge thing going on here. So you can see metal walls, and there's different variations of each metal too. I think this is iron. Let's see here. You can actually find out. Click it here like that using Alt. Dull riveted metal. So this is iron. Yep, and you can see there's different templates. And this is the riveted one. There's hammered, banded metal, shiny vertical, just raw iron. It's very rough looking. A little fake water there. The water isn't actually in game yet. They're gonna put that in I think it was July or August. It's clipping through the world there, but they're gonna have water eventually that you can put in. You can mine it. You can have it flow. So you make waterfalls if you want. There's a little nature shrine here. Nice little thing here. This is the closet. Nope, it's a secret entrance. I think this goes nowhere. It's another chest. Once again, you can interact with almost everything. Nathaniel, let's see, did we miss one? Oh, we got bookshelves with no books. No books yet. There are props that are bookshelves loaded with books, but no books by themselves yet. You got kind of a rubicite, I think, ceiling there. Kind of gives a nice effect. Nathaniel, more doom chairs, as I come to call them. And you can change the size. If you notice, this horn's a little bigger than the one we had back at that forge, and yeah, you can make it different sizes. Let's see if I can adjust it again. Yeah, you can make it big or really small. Put it back to normal, or back to the size that we originally left it. Got glowing orbs here. Turn on the flame. A lot of this is combining stuff. Like, oh yeah, yes, these are on. So this is the little blue orb here is one piece, and the little wall lantern, I guess. I don't know what this is called. Doesn't say. It's another piece. So it's a lot of combining what you have available. There's a upside down brazier there. So it's kind of use your imagination to determine how you want it to look. Oh, this is built a little turret here. It kind of looks like the ground is caving in, kind of going down here a little bit. Our idea for this is probably make this. We have this bottom floor here, just all flooded. Kind of give a little ambiance. So we'll get to that hopefully when water's mineable. Come around here. I think we come back into the one. Yep, the chest room there. So that's that. Let's see. How do I get out of here? I'll move fast with my hook shot here. There's the stairs. Here we go. And we'll go up to the next section here that we're working on. Let's see. I think we can get out this way. Yep. Take the back entrance. And you see it keeps popping because there's actually, you have what's called a primary plot, which kind of secures the area all around it, so people can't really build up next to you and, more or less troll you or something, try and block you in. So you can't do that. And then there's what's called our attached claims, and basically you attach it to a primary and allows you to kind of expand your space up, down, or laterally, kind of in any direction you see fit. So let's head west here. It's a wild movement here. Yeah, here we go. Coming across our kind of third space here. Call this the cloister. Supposed to evoke something of a kind of a monastery look. So we have this open garden area that we built. So now we've passed into. Now I was passing through like an actual forest looking thing. That's kind of dynamically generated. And we get in here and I think we started with some trees that are actually here, but we actually ended up moving them, and trees can become props. So like all the trees in this little plot here are things we've plopped down. So there's a lot of versatility there. We made little gardens. Kind of cleared it out. Kind of give you a different look, so we have that kind of this ground look, and then we have grass. We have like a retention wall. You can see the different levels of stone. And our our fake little pond here until we actually get real water. Some water volcanoes. I don't know if these are rendering right. Again, this is beta. This isn't a live game, so to speak. It's very much a beta. There's a lot of crashing. There's a lot of weird things will happen over time if you play long enough. Just building for a long time, suddenly things will not render right. What should be a stone wall might just be a black surface and not really showing too much. So here we are. We have some crafting stations here. We kind of made it easy for ourselves to build in multiple places without having to go back to one central place. There's a little tech forge here, so kind of a little high-tech looking. Same thing here. A little smelter. These are actually, let's see if I can, I'll have to pick it up. But it fires little lasers when it goes off. We have, so this is kind of, this is not actually a door, but we made it look like a door. Put little steel, what is this thing? I didn't even say, I forget. Basically like a steel door knocker. Make it look like a door. Even though it's not, it's just metal. Once again, you saw the chest earlier. Well, now this is the same chest prop. Now we actually have stuff in here. You see various materials, rings. I can bring that up. Yeah, right now there's not too much. You can get a grappling hook, some clothes, some rings. Help you. This particular one helps you mine better, so find more rare materials and chance to mine more stuff. But there's also things for crafting. Help you make better picks essentially. Claim flag, attached claim. So that's what I was talking about. You can make a primary claim or an attached claim, and you actually get provided some of this when you buy a pack, depending on which pack you buy. And so this is kind of the inner part here. We got kind of a bar going on. Got some mugs, some glasses that we've made. So yeah, these bottles are pretty neat. These are actually handcrafted, again with the voxels. Kind of shows you the power of what this game can do. Those are not props. Same thing with the chairs there again. But you actually got a prop chair. Usually the really fancy stuff that has that kind of level of design, that's usually ends up being a prop. But we can still make a lot of good looking things. Got a little distillery here. Let's see, I'll go in properly here through the bar, kick up there. There's a refining station, but it looks like a good distillery. Make some moonshine there. Close that. So this is the lower level of kind of our open cloister, or outer cloister and open market rather. Go up these stairs. Again, we've created all this. Takes some time, you know, and a little practice on the little more complicated parts. But it is extremely fun if you like to build things. You know, if you ever like to build with Legos, this is something to really check out. And this is our inner cloister. We're still working on this. We got some designs going, so we're gonna walk in here. And you can see that it really opens up. So you know, this kind of gives you the scale of what these plots, how big these plots are. To give you a sense of scale. Let's see if I can look all the way down here. Let me zoom in. Look at that first-person camera. Ooh. So that's the bottom of the plot, and we go all the way up, and that's the top of the plot, more or less. I think you can go maybe one little mini voxel more, but that's basically the height of the plot. So we're slowly building in here. Got kind of a the inner monastery cloister. So this is kind of where a monk or someone like that would sleep. Little beds, a little wash basin, another cell. We're still working on some things here. You can kind of see it's a work in progress. Just an upstairs area, working on that. Let's head outside. A lot of the outside area. Well, and here's a good point. You can see here it's a red thumbs up, which basically means I've locked this. I don't want people necessarily upvoting this because, well, the inner cloister isn't really finished, so I don't, and you can certainly do that too if you ever decide to want to check this out. It's like you don't have to have people comment on it if you don't want. It's like, leave it red or leave it locked. But we'll pass over. We've passed into the other part of the claim here. Close the door, and we can potentially upvote it. I can upvote myself in 4 days. A little lecture hall here. Got some benches, a little lectern, and a little veranda patio, I guess. What's supposed to call it? Looks like we are crafting something here. Sometimes we'll leave little pieces lying around, and this is just how you deal with like microvoxels. Again, kind of dealing with that. We'll jump down here. Little tiki bar, bench, some small stools there. Here's the bookshelves. So these are the props again. Oh, we have this one out of place, or is it? Oh, it's a secret door. So we made a little hole. And it doesn't actually move. It's not like a real door like the other one, so it won't like move back and forth. Not without like manually manipulating it, like I showed you before, with all of that. But kind of gives a little feel for it. Empty room here. We haven't done anything with this yet. Come down the stairs here, and more bookshelves, and we're back at the bar area. So yeah, that's a little look into what we've been kind of piddling around with, and while waiting for GW2 to eventually update overlay. Cross your fingers. But yeah, there you go, a little preview inside. I can show you. Let me zoom out here. Let me get outside the plot. So here's a what is this? Some kind of mineral. It's probably cobalt. Let's see what I'm getting here. Nope, this is silver. There we go. So you can see I'm picking up the actual like shiny parts of silver. Oh, we're switching to tungsten. Each node usually has 2 components, more or less. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it will. Oh, we're switching to the green, shiny green stuff there. And so 2 nodes will be connected you know, and they'll be related somehow. Silver and tungsten is one. I think there's like gold and diamond, I think. And you can also see I'm picking up dirt, stone. So you use that into craft, you know, big things. And this world is actually, I think they labeled it as 2.5 kilometers down. So let me, so that's how mining works. And I can actually mine straight down here, collect all that. And I'll just keep going here. Let me angle myself here. There we go. Have to be careful I don't dig too far. Now I can't get out because I have a grappling hook, but you know, you can get in a little trouble. Fortunately, there's some, you know, emergency release commands they're called escape to or evac to safety you can use. And yeah, see how I'm mining down here. Obviously, there's nothing down here but dirt. But eventually, they'll put in caves and you know, there'll be actual strata as part of like EQ Next. And tune here so he's not. There we go. Various strata, and so eventually, like you'll get down to, you know, like deep caverns, lava, eventually, things like that. Use my hook shot to get out of here, and yeah, you can actually pretty much like mine to the bottom of the map. It gets really weird down there right now. Jeez, see if I can get out. There we go. Oop. There we go. But yeah, you can mine all the way down. It gets weird because it turns into like this. There's like this green gas miasma that's kind of really blocks your vision. Doesn't hurt your character. That's probably another good point too. At least right now in Landmark, I can go to the top of this thing here, and you can see I'm not dying. I kind of do these moves when I jump again. And I'm doing those jumps. The character isn't really doing that. If I didn't do anything, he'd probably just slide down. But yeah, no falling death, at least for now. I'm not sure if they've commented on what kind of damage they'll have in terms of falling, potentially, if there is any. But I would wager that EverQuest Next, there will be some level of, you know, you fall way too far or something, you might die. Or maybe not, who knows. A lot of the demos they've shown have people falling from great heights without too much problem. Very cinematic, you know, fantasy cinematic, I should say. Zoom back out here. So that's that. You can chop down these trees here. Let me switch to my special axe. Is a special axe for because I bought the pack. But you know, if I had an axe, it would do the same thing. So it chops this down. There we go. Yeah, you know, you got some little wood and some special heart piece or heartwood, and it's used in a lot of the crafting. Various, you know, types of wood. This is kind of a, you know, a forest. There's a tundra. There's desert. I think that's kind of like basically kind of three biomes. There's also beaches right now. Obviously, there's no water in yet, but there's kind of a sandy beach, and there's desert sand. Each one looks different. So yeah, you go out and mine, and you bring that back and use it to either build your crafting stations, to, you know, build better materials, or you use it in actual construction. You know, such as this thing here. So yeah, that's about it. I'll be checking out some other things along the way. Stay tuned for those, and peace out.